What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Just doing a quick instant reaction of the Steelers' 26-22 victory over the Cleveland Browns. Man, what a game. That was definitely something. Definitely never a dull moment when you're watching Steelers football. Just before, I kind of give some of my thoughts on the game, players who played well, players who didn't. Just want to take a second to give some positive vibes to, Nick Chubb, gruesome injury. Hopefully Nick bounces back well. Awesome player. Hope all is well his way. And then, Minka Fitzpatrick headed to the hospital, according to reports. That's kind of scary in and of itself. So hopefully everything's good with Mink as well. Yeah, man, absolutely special game. Really sloppy in different ways, but overall, the game started off. The Steelers were having some trouble stopping the run really throughout the day, but Nick Chubb was kind of having his way. Then he goes down, which ultimately, forced more of the load on Deshaun Watson, which I think is kind of what we all were anticipating. The Steelers trying to make happen at least. Watson did what he does. He goes back there, he scrambles around a bunch, tries to play make. He took a bunch of sacks, made some costly mistakes, turned the football over. The Steelers being able to get, 4 turnovers on the day was really the difference in this ballgame, I really thought. I mean, they did give up a ton of yards, but they made a lot of plays as well. So you have to recognize that. I thought that really the defense itself was really anchored by, the 2 edge rushers. I mean, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, I don't really know what else you could say about those two's performance. They were in the backfield all day. They both had a sack, several quarterback hits, both scored a touchdown. Highsmith picked off that ball on Watson's first drive. Granted, that was a little bit luckier, tip luck or whatever you say, but he had the big strip sack in the fourth quarter, which TJ picked up, scored for a touchdown. So that's why you pay your edge rushers $45 million a year, right? Like, in case you're wondering why the Steelers were willing to allocate that much money to one position, there's your answer. I mean, those two almost single-handedly won them the game tonight. I thought that Larry Ogunjobi flashed a lot early in the game as well, was consistently in the backfield. I know that he had at least 1 or 2 hits on Watson. Then I think he actually basically handed to Marvin Leal a sack as well. So thought he played well. Run defense, like I said, was really shoddy throughout the game. That long one that Jerome Ford busted open, Levi Wallace lost contain on the edge. Getting a little bit concerned with Levi, just because I'm not really concerned about the catches he's given up. I think that we know that Levi's kind of just that baseline starter. Good receivers are going to get open against him, but you can't give up the big plays. And I think that's one of the more concerning things to me is, back-to-back weeks now, he's really been directly responsible for a 60, 70-yard run. I mean, you can't have that happen when you're a veteran cornerback. So especially when you got the number 32 overall pick, Joey Porter Jr., just sitting over there on the bench. I mean, you can't make those mistakes as a veteran week after week and expect to keep your job. So going to need to see some type of improvement from Levi. I thought the rest of the secondary was a little bit better, but Watson was just under constant duress and didn't really make that great of decisions with the football. Wasn't overly pleased with the tackling from a group perspective. I'm interested to watch the game back and kind of look at some of the numbers, but it did not seem like they tackled very well. David Njoku had that big long run on that kind of flat route during the game where it seemed like almost half the team missed a tackle. So that was definitely something that they need to clean up defensively. Minka made a couple of plays as well before he went out, saved a touchdown on the forward run as well. But hopefully he's good to roll next week. Before we get to the offense, because that's going to take forever, I feel like, let's talk a little about the special teams. Chris Boswell nailed 2 50-yard field goals. Excellent. That should put you on everybody's winner list, especially in a game that was hotly contested, close game like that. AFC North got to hit those field goals. Shout out to Boz. And then, Presley Harvin, man, 4 punts inside the 20. He did have 2 touchbacks, but I thought overall it was a really good response. Tomlin called him out this week during the media presser. They tried out punters this week. I mean, that was the exact response I think the team was really looking for. So shout out to Presley Harvin. Way to bounce back. Gunnar Olszewski was the negative in the special teams unit. Of course, Gunner's dealing with a concussion as well. It seems like hopefully he's good, but man, that free agent signing has been an absolute disaster, really, from day one. Gunner's just not been able to hang on to the football. Very curious mistake to, start the offense in terrible field position on the kick return, where he steps out of bounds and then, he gets a touch on offense and he puts the ball on the ground. So I think he's touched the ball 13 or 14 times with the Steelers. He's fumbled 3 or 4 times. So I mean, it's hard to keep a job like that in the NFL. So we'll see what happens with him. But I think that the Steelers, especially with Deontay Johnson now in IR, they might need to look at bringing an outside receiver in. I'm not really sure of who that could potentially be, but um, they probably need to look from the outside in. So let's talk about the offense now. Let's go with the positives. George Pickens, I thought played really well. I thought that he was open more than he was targeted. Had some errant throws his way. Really good back and forth battle between him and Denzel Ward. I thought this was a game we talked about pregame that George really needed to step up. Him and Calvin Austin without Deontay Johnson in the lineup. Wanted to see how those guys were going to perform against that really talented trio of corners in Cleveland. And I thought that George really responded. That 70-yard touchdown to the house. He's wide open on that play. Looked like there was someone over the middle busted a coverage. But George, to his credit, went 50 something yards or whatever after the catch. And that was something that we wanted to see more of from George in year two, was just him making more plays after the catch. And I feel like he did that today. Huge play. I also want to kind of shout out. I mean, Jalen Warren had a couple really big third down pickups early in the game on pass receptions. He did give up that one sack. I really want to go back and look at that because I do think that the announcer was right about that being a 4-person slide, but I don't really know why they're sliding 4 people there. But I might break that one down for the channel because that call didn't really make sense to me. But I thought that Jalen Warren provided a little bit of a spark as well. I didn't put him on the winners column in my article for Steelers Now, but thought that he played okay. Pass protection was a little shaky, to say the least. Cleveland was kind of doing some pretty exotic stuff up front, from what I could see, and they were able to get kind of in Pickett's face pretty quickly. Anytime they singled up Myles Garrett, I know the box score was pretty quiet for him, but it seemed like anytime they singled him up with Dan Moore, he was winning pretty quickly off the edge. Pickett probably should have been sacked, but he was able to kind of put one in the dirt of the running back. So good awareness from him. Just from Kenny, man, it was more of the same. I thought that he played better just at first glance today than he did against the Niners. But I really want to go back and watch all 22 before saying that for sure. But definitely think it was better. But man, he just still does not look comfortable. Some just weird decisions. That first interception, he's just staring Pickens down the whole way. Defender's just reading his eyes, jumps around, takes it back a little bit, and then even like that one that he was rolling to the right of the sideline, he doesn't throw the ball away, throws it back in bounds. Probably should have been intercepted, but wasn't. Just some weird decisions. Accuracy was really all over the place. He sprayed a lot of throws. He was under constant duress. That touchdown pass to Pickens. Granted, Pickens did most of the work after the catch. That was a good throw. Nice job getting to the backside dig. And he was under duress, took a shot on that one as well. So I do want to recognize some of the good stuff that he did as well. But, I think we're still kind of waiting on seeing that, year 2 improvement that I think we all probably thought we were going to get after the preseason. Nothing, too disastrous where you kind of need to just start, hitting the panic button, I guess, but definitely some concerning stuff that you're seeing on tape week to week, I think. So we'll just have to break that down throughout the week once we get the film. Canada, I don't even have any words for some of the play calls. The 3rd and 1 where they ran Pickett on a keeper in the gun was that was something. Yeah, I've lost words for some of that stuff, but the run game really needs to be more efficient. Najee had a couple runs where he kind of made something happen out of nothing later in the game, and I thought that was good, provided a nice spark when they really needed it. But overall, the run numbers are pretty bad, man. They really got to find a way to be ahead of the chains. I know that's something we talk about a lot, but man, you put yourself into 3rd and long situations. That's a big reason the Steelers are struggling on 3rd down. If you look at the numbers today, they were 4 of 14 on 3rd down. They just they were constantly in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9s, and stuff like that. And it's really difficult on a quarterback. It's difficult on your pass protection, especially when you're going up against two good defenses, which I think the Niners and the Browns are good defenses. But you just look at the success rates on offense, man. It's really ugly. Pickett was at 31% success rate. Harris was at 18. Warren was at 33. It's just it's tough. I mean, they literally had negative yards in the 4th quarter and they still won this game. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen that before, like a come from behind victory where a team had negative yards in the 4th quarter. But they got it done. I mean, the big thing, man, was just avoiding an 0-2 start at home. You know, losing 2 home games in a row to start the season would have been disastrous. But figuring out a way to get it done, it was really ugly. No idea how they did it, but just figuring out a way to get to 1-1 and just get out of this kind of stretch at 500, I think is a big W. They get Vegas on Sunday Night Football, I believe. I already started watching some Raiders film. I watched their game yesterday live, and then I went back and watched their offensive stuff, all 22 today. So I'll have some stuff up on that throughout the week, but not overly impressed, to be honest with you, with that Raiders team. So I think the Steelers have a really good chance at going 2-1, just as a full preview, but we shall see. I appreciate you guys tapping in with me. Appreciate all the support, love for the channel this week. Just please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment, let me know what you think, and then I'll check you guys next time. Peace.